Good afternoon. Hey, it's book fair day. What does that mean? It means I want to hear about your favorite book. What happens when your guest has to reschedule due to a family emergency? You punt. So today's book fair day. Coming to you live from Vermont, up by the Canadian border. Al Gettler here. We've got a great week lined up for you. Hopefully we'll get our guest today rescheduled. Tell you about him when he is rescheduled. But today we're talking books. So in the comments section of the social media you are on, I want you to comment on some of your favorite books. I brought a stack of mine in here, and we'll talk a bit about some of the favorite books you have in your collection, books that have helped you in business, self-help books, even a novel that blew your socks off. But we are here on LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. So while we're waiting for all of you to kind of get ready with your books, let me start the countdown. So I remember when you were a kid in school, there was that very special day, actually more than a couple of days, I think it was, because it took a long time to set it up. It was the book fair. Remember the book fair in school when, your mom and your dad gave you some money and, told you choose the right books, get something really cool. I always found it really exciting to have the book fair at school. I always found it fun. It was tempting once in a while to have the toys there, but you really had to come with a book to keep mom or dad happy. So today it's kind of book fair day. I want to talk to you about the books that you have. Now, let me tell you how this works too. If you'd like to comment while we're live here, depending on social media that you're on, you may need to give StreamYard some permission for you to comment. So go ahead and say yes to that as you join for StreamYard. And then you'll be able to comment on our show today. So as I mentioned earlier, we had a guest scheduled today. Unfortunately, he had a family emergency, couldn't make it. So I came up with book fair today. I want to hear about the books you're reading, the books that are important to you, and we'll go ahead and bring those up. So I'm going to get started. We've got some folks joining us, folks, in the comment section. Go ahead and write those books that are favorite to you. I want to start with something. I travel a lot regularly when we're not in the pandemic, and oftentimes something will catch my eye. So I'm going to start with my first book here that I found really, really helpful and some things to think about. This was at an airport. I believe it was in Cleveland when I saw this book. It's called The Visual MBA, and Visual MBA is exactly as it says. The author has broken down with some nice illustrations of MBA type of models. So you go through the book, you read, and literally, I love this. Fixed costs and variables of a lemonade stand. You can see that. So literally nice illustrations to help you understand what's involved with gaining that MBA knowledge, a Master's of Business Knowledge. So there's the Visual MBA, Jason Barron. Check that one out. I know it's on Amazon as well. It's a Houghton Mifflin Harcourt book. Jason Barron with 2 R's is the author. Great book on understanding the concept of business. So if you have a special book, go ahead and hold it up. Doesn't have to be a business book, by the way. Let me tell you, I have a book that I'm going to hold up here that to me is kind of like the ultimate book when it comes to what just kind of jazzes you and grabs you. But Trisha Ann is here. Trisha Ann says, my favorite book back in school was Judy Blume. She was a great author. Trisha, we in our family loved Judy Blume books, 3 daughters, and all of them have read Judy Blume over the years. Some great titles, some great stations in life type of stuff. But yeah, absolutely. So Trisha, tell me, what was your favorite Judy Blume book? Throw that back up there. So my favorite book, not a business book, is going to hold a lot of businessy type books up here today, but this is the one that I think every person has to read. I know a lot of people have to read it in high school. And if you're like me and maybe skipped a couple of those and got the Cliff Notes, this is one you do not want to miss. Not only do I recommend To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, but also I recommend the movie as well. Just an incredible film. But this book, if you have not read it or maybe skipped over it in the required reading list when you were in school, go ahead and grab To Kill a Mockingbird. It's a great book. I've often heard it called the perfect novel, but it is just a very, very, very good book. So add that one to your list of books that you're going to read. Another book that we're jumping around here. Another book I can recommend to you, something that changed the way I looked completely at how I worked on the web and how I worked with online, is by my friend Michael Hyatt. This book is called Platform: Get Noticed in a Noisy World. Book's a few years old now, but the concepts are still absolutely positively on the money. I'm hoping Michael comes up with an updated version of this at some point soon, but it really talks a lot about how you utilize the digital space in order to get your message across. And Michael covers a lot of that in this book. He also has a great website, michaelhyatt.com. Check that out. But this is the one that kind of got it started my my knowledge of Michael and what he talked about in this. And really, blogging, websites, all of that. Really great book. Get Noticed in a Noisy World. So awfully good book indeed. So how about your business, right? You've got probably got a website, probably have a message you want to get across, probably need some advice because maybe it's not turning for you. And we've heard the concept of sales funnels and things that are important for you to help your business grow. And how do you do all that? I mean, the thing is, in the career that I've had selling advertising to advertisers are not getting in the business that they're in order to become marketing experts. They're experts at what they do. So they need good practical advice on how to advertise. And for years, I have sold and still sell newspaper advertising in print, in digital form of all types. But one of the things we notice people's websites, right? First of all, is your website mobile friendly? Those types of questions, can I bring it up? I can't believe how many websites I still bring up on my phone. They're not mobile friendly. The layout doesn't translate to mobile. So how about how you lay the website out? Well, here's a great book on that. Marketing Made Simple by Donald Miller. Absolutely an amazing book on how to come up with a website that sells, the design of the website, how it works. In fact, you know what? I can show you real quickly too, as we're talking about this book. I'll bring up a website that actually had a hand in kind of redoing and show you how we utilize the concepts of this book. Really, really solid advice on how to make a website work using the advice in this book. So let me go ahead and share with you right now. If you're just joining us, we're talking about favorite books today. So Trisha Ann put up there that Judy Blume is her favorite author. What books are your favorites? What are the things you like to read? We're just talking about some of my favorite books right now, and I'll share this with you off of the book that I just mentioned to you, Marketing Made Simple. We went in, the team at ANC, and redid our website based on this book. And one of the things you'll notice right away is we offer you something in the beginning. We kind of identify the problem that the average newspaper executive, media executive has right now. Again, lots of contact buttons, lots of solutions. This is a website that's based on the book, Marketing Made Simple. Really, really good stuff. And I'll tell you what, talk about the sales funnel. We're coming up, here's testimonials of some of our customers. Okay, some really great people. But then we've got this one thing that is highly recommended. HubSpot's been saying it for years. Marketing Made Simple talks about it as well. And that is the need to have something for people to interact with, to download. So good advice in this book, Marketing Made Simple. Check that book out here. I think you'll get a lot out of it. The author is Donald Miller and JJ Peterson. Oh, we can't forget to give JJ a shout out as well. So great stuff there. Okay, shifting gears again. I got a big pile of books down here. Jeff Dunham. I mentioned this the other day in my interview with Jeff Dunham. I think this is perhaps one of the most motivating books out there, all by myself. The story of how Jeff kind of put his career together. pretty amazing. It's a story of hard knocks. It's a story of keep on going. It's a story of believe in yourself. Check out this book. It's really a great book. Still available on Amazon. Jeff Dunham, All by Myself. It's a great book on how to do. So when you're talking about writing, what books are you interested in? I love reading books on writing. There's two. I didn't bring one down from next to my nightstand, but this one, absolute must. It's on several editions now. This is the 6th edition. I think it's on 8. It's a book by William Zinsser. It's called Writing Well. Really simple, practical advice on how writing well. I talk to college students a lot, and I tell them, look, if you can write well, if you learn how to public speak and you learn how to network, you're going to be head and shoulders above the people around you, especially college students looking for jobs. That goes for all of us in the work world. If you do those things, you write well, you speak well, you're comfortable in front of a group, and you network, I'm telling you what, you're going to far accelerate your career as compared to those around you who might not concentrate on things. And this book is key to that, on writing well. So think about grabbing that book. Also, the book I didn't bring downstairs that I think you'd love. I love it. It's a book called Bird by Bird. It's a long story to explain the title, but it's in the book, Bird by Bird. Check that book out as well. I absolutely adore that book. It's a great book on writing. Another book on writing, Stephen King. Stephen King's book on writing, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Any Stephen King fans out there? It's a different side of Stephen King you don't see very often. And then finally, one book that I brought along today to show you the kind of, to me, started it all and follow the Duarte company very closely. Nancy Duarte's Slideology. And what it is, it's about how to really design slides to make them interesting. Most slides, as we know, have tons and tons of words on them, but they don't have a lot of concepts and ideas that are simple to take in. So what the book is about is just simply how to lay out a presentation, whether it be PowerPoint or Keynote or anything else you're going to use. But Slideology is the book. And Nancy Duarte, who you see right here, Nancy's the author. She and her husband have had this company for years. They started off actually making 35 millimeter slides of slides. For those of you that might remember those days, I used to be the guy in the marketing department that had to run out there and get those slides and utilize them. But they then transferred over to what has become today PowerPoint, Keystone, and other presenting tools. An absolutely great book on laying those things out. So those are some of the books I chose for our discussion today on books. By all means, if you have some books that you like, go ahead and put it up in the comments, and we'll bring those up here again, just like Trisha Ann did here, talking about Judy Blume being one of her favorite authors. So our guest today could not be here, so we kind of had to punt. We've got a good lineup of guests coming the rest of the week. Let me tell you that on Wednesday, I'm really excited. Alan Langer is going to be here. Alan is one of the premier sales guys, great book on selling. He's going to be here. Shaylee Hackman's going to be here on Thursday. She is really a ball of energy. You're going to love seeing her. And on Friday, Rick Denley. I just got off a Zoom call with Rick. He is going to be a great guest on Friday. I think you're going to really enjoy it. So with that, I just want to invite you, if you would like to be part of my show, if you'd like to go ahead and be a guest and have an idea for the show, go ahead and email me at al@algetler.com. I'd love to have you on here and talk about what it is you want to talk about your career or things that are going well for you. And it has been an absolute pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow when I have another guest and throughout the rest of the week. Until then, take care and have a great day.